Have you ever attended a church wedding and witnessed that tense moment where the pastor steps forward to ask if anyone has or knows any reason why the intending couple should not be joined in holy matrimony? If anyone should raise their hand that they have something to say, what would you think the person would want to say? I guess you'll be thinking that the bride or the groom or both have gone against some Christian beliefs. Well, this is not what this particular video is about. I came across a video by the Procon Nations on 5 important medical discussions people who are in love and intend to get married should have before tying the knot. And I want you to see the video and share with your friends, your families, and anyone you care about. It's quite amazing how people know the favorite colors, meals, drinks of the person they are in love with, but don't seem to know about their medical history. Take for instance, rhesus factor incompatibility, which is why many women have not had any successful pregnancy after giving birth to their first child. These and other medical checks are important to have before tying the knot. I'll let you see the video and don't forget to share with your friends, families, and everyone that you care about. Do well to subscribe at the end.
How far preparations for the big day now? Since have you guys chosen a date?
Oh, well, it's going well. I mean, it's a lot.
Okay, a lot. Sorting out your bill,
Tell you,
talking to vendors, very stressful.
Serious.
she's been doing a lot.
Have you guys asked yourself the necessary questions before your big day? Did you know everything about each other?
Yes, now,
Of
babe.
course,
Yeah,
you do.
You know my favorite color.
Oh, yeah.
You know where I like to eat.
Yeah.
You know how I like my eggs.
I mean, and you know mine too.
I know, right?
Mine too. But that's not what I'm talking about now.
Uh-uh.
I'm asking really important questions like, do you know your HIV status? Do you know your fertility status, hepatitis? What's your family's medical history? Those are the questions people are supposed to be asking each other by now.
Do you know my...
Marriage is next week.
Doctor.
We're still getting there.
Yes, no.
Wait, marriage is next week. I still get
Marriage is a long-term job.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Just because some of you have found love does not mean that that's finally where it ends. You need to understand your partner's medical history. Because I'm not saying that if you found the partner's medical history, it means that the marriage is not happening again. But it helps you prepare for things in the future. Things like what? So what are the questions you should be asking before you get married? I'm sure you want to know, but before we do that, make sure you share, like, or subscribe to this video. It helps other people discover it, and who knows, it might just help someone's marriage. So, if you've done that, let's go sort out those questions. Question number 1. What's your genotype? The genotype test lets you know whether you are AA, AS, SS, AC, or SC. And I feel that this question should be asked from the very first date before feelings enter so that you can abort mission. If you are AS and the person is either AS or SS, abort mission, no. There is a 50% chance of having a baby with the disease in each pregnancy. Doesn't mean that 50% of your babies. Every time you get pregnant, there's a 50% chance that you may have a child with sickle cell. Except you're not in the country and there are other ways. I've shot the video. I'll link it somewhere. Question number 2. What's your blood group and your rhesus factor? This question, this particular one, is the second most important question to be asked. Because if you know your partner's blood group, especially as a woman, it will save you from what is called rhesus isoimmunization blood group incompatibility that can affect your child. For example, if you're O negative and you get pregnant for somebody who is O positive, that's if you're planning to have babies, your body does not really recognize that positive antigen, and so you will treat it like a foreign object. Usually, it doesn't really affect the first pregnancy. But by the time the first pregnancy has happened, probably during birth, some kind of bleeding enters into the woman's bloodstream and the body creates a memory around that positive antigen. When next that woman gets pregnant, it can affect the baby and treat it like it's a foreign body. This will usually lead to hydros fetalis that can be fatal and even lose the life of that child. But of course, your gynecologist is going to ask you this question. But it's also very important that you know what your husband's or wife's blood group and rhesus factor is. Is he O positive? Is he A negative? Is he AB positive? Is he AB negative? You have to know. Question number 3. What's your HIV status? This is another very important question. As a matter of fact, it's the same way you know your phone number should be the same way you know your HIV status. And it matters for the both of you. Why? Simply because we've gotten to the point in HIV management where it no longer needs to progress to AIDS anymore. Because if you take your drugs properly, as well as you should adequately, it can even get to the point where the virus is no longer detected in your bloodstream. And once you get to that point, you can control it so that you can't transfer it to the next person. But you need to know, right? You need to really understand and protect both your partner and yourself. If you're trying to get married to someone, this is not the kind of information you keep from them. And if your partner is unwilling to share their HIV status with you, I don't think you should go any further with the marriage. I'm sure some of you are here and still you have not subscribed or liked or even... Can you kindly do that, please? Question number 4. Have you ever had a sexually transmitted disease before? As you're trying to find out HIV status, make sure you're asking for hepatitis and other sexually transmitted diseases. Because so you know, hepatitis can even be more contagious than HIV. And it can be transmitted just like the HIV virus is. So you have to know what your previous HIV status is. And for STDs, if you've had STDs in the past that was not properly treated, it can even have fertility problems later in life. Please speak up. Question number 5. How fertile are you? This one might sound out of place, so can even sound strange, say, for weird. Why are you asking that question? But truth be told, this fertility question is a very important question that all intending couples should ask before they say I do. This is very important because fertility issues can be addressed as quickly as possible without the unnecessary psychological or social or emotional trauma associated with self-fertility. You also need to understand that both parties can be involved. It's not just the woman's fault. Fertility tests for men, sperm analysis to assess male fertility, hormonal check for both couples, FSH, LH, prolactin, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. For the woman, test for ovulation, do a pelvic ultrasound scan to assess the internal reproductive organs for any congenital or acquired abnormalities. Look, like I said, it's both of you. That's why I'm going to say this. Dear men, sometimes it's not the woman's fault. Sometimes it's you that is shooting blanks.
Oga, better go and check your HIV status.
You too, go and check your hepatitis status. It's only me.
Wow! Did you notice that each of the 5 questions have something to do with childbearing? Share this with your friends, family members, everyone that you care about, in fact, everyone on the internet. Let's save the lives of our future generation. Let's save the lives of our young ones. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to get instant notification the moment I upload the next video.